What's up, everyone? Little Big Robots here with a little bit of a video I'm doing today. It's not even today, it's tonight. I decided to go ahead and record at night, which is not something I normally do because I usually do it during the day for whatever reason. And it is the 2nd of October, 2022. It is what night is it? Sunday night? Something like that. Excuse me. Just got done watching the new episode, or second to last episode of that Lord of the Rings show, Rings of Power, which is very, very well done. But holy crap, I'm telling you right now, my hair, my goodness, the the human settlement parts where they're like hanging out with humans and they're like there is like generic human character 1 and 2, it's so incredibly boring. It's Me and my wife are watching it, me and Leela, and I said, instead of fast forwarding it, maybe what we'll do is we'll just get on our phones and let's give ourselves time to check our phone stuff, our social meds and all that. And then when it gets off the human stuff, we'll actually be able to get to it. The stunt choreography, the costuming, the music is annoying. It's always there. Like they're just having a conversation about lunch, and the music kicks in. Like, oh, but the stunts, everything's really well done. It's shot really well. The effects are great. So they've obviously spent some money on it, and it looks great. It's just so boring in parts. Um, I love all the characters. I love the queen, especially that came from, oh, what's the island? The fancy queen. Her armor is incredible. The elf guy whose solo is kind of cool, but the like blacksmith human woman who obviously he had a kid with is is pretty boring. It's kind of like they took the most boring parts of the Lord of the Rings movies. I'm just pouring myself a little bit of drink here, which were the humans when like they had to march off to, like everybody run away, and the humans are like, oh, and they're all dressed in rags and stuff. That's just like, oh, that's so boring. um, and it's a bit confusing. I read the Similarian or whatever it's called back in the day a little bit, but I was just too bored by it. I'm like, it's cool if you get into it. I should probably try it now because my adult human brain might be able to handle a little bit more than than earlier as a child. But of course, Lord of the Rings was fantastic. What I don't enjoy about it as much is that it's got a lot of the same emotional beats and stuff that the Lord of the Rings movies did, because those were so popular in the early 2000s that people were like, let's just keep hitting those same emotional beats and kind of like rhythms, and that's a bit annoying, like, oh, little sad parts. So other than that, it's done really well. I love the Harfoot stuff, the halfling stuff, the early version of Hobbit stuff. I love that little group. I love that they're like nature sprites kind of in a way. So that's been fun. But the human stuff, I'm like, man, this is the most boring part of the Lord of the Rings, is the human stuff. Other than like Aragorn and stuff. And then what's funny is in the whatever it's called, in this version of it, whatever they're adding, because they're adding a lot of stuff. They're adding their same beats of like, you're a king who has to return. I'm like, man, we did that story. So I don't care if it was written in the book or whatever. It's a little boring. Other than that, I thought what would be fun to do today is to talk about PulseCon 2022. PulseCon is Hasbro Pulse's look at, man, what is going on here? Hasbro Pulse's it's like a live stream, and the live stream shows off the new stuff that they got coming out and some of the new toys. But first I wanted to talk about this hot button topic, which is, as you can see here, which is windowless or plastic-free packaging. Plastic-free packaging is essentially just what it sounds like. Instead of getting like a blister pack like you would, I don't have one near me. I should have grabbed one. Like you get like a Star Wars here. Pretend you're holding a Star Wars toy action figure, and it's in a bubble, that clear plastic bubble. They're doing away with that to kind of hold back on plastic waste, which I'm 100% down with, 100%. Um, but it's funny the way they did it because there's a lot of little things they might have missed. First of all, in the image that you're seeing on the like, this is the box here, right? So this is what the box looks like. It's a cardboard box with an image of the characters, the two toys they're getting inside the package, an image of those two toys. There's some issues that some of the characters are not exactly as they appear in the box. For example, I thought it was kind of funny. If you look at Peter here, look how funny his face is right there. This pair of toys is a really good pair of toys. I'm really, really interested in this pair. This Peter Parker and his buddy Ned. The little box is a really, really cute. It's just a really cute idea, and it looks really good. But their faces, I think, look better in person from what I've seen than they do on the box art. So a lot of people are like, where did that box picture go? A lot of people are like, well, oh, there we go. Let me go back here. The plastic-free packaging is fine, but the problem is that if it doesn't match kind of exactly what you get in the package itself, you're kind of doing the wrong thing. And so you have the case of some toys are coming with like a pin showing, meaning like a little, if you see his knee there, for example, right here, the knee has like a actual little pin inside of it, and then there's what you would call pinless, where you don't see that pin. So they're not always matching what's in the package, and a lot of people had to have the appropriate idea, which is just take some really good toy photography of the toy and put it on the cover instead of what they call a 3D rendering, a computer rendering. And so while I think they should really, really get away from plastic packages, such heavy duty plastic packaging, meaning the plastic bubble on the front that a lot of people, maybe some people keep it, but I try to recycle them because there's no way to really fold it up. If a package is mostly cardboard, I save the cardboard, like the cool artwork and stuff. You can fold it down flat. You can keep 100 in a box this big. You're good. Then you have the actual original packaging. A lot of people, toy collectors, don't like to break down the box. They want to keep it in its original form, and that's a mistake. You can literally break it down, but that plastic window often prevents you from doing that. So this actually is, I think, a good thing in the way that if you get a simple cardboard box, and that's the package, you could fold it flat, literally just by undoing tabs, and then reassemble it in its original form 40 years later, and it's still the same. That plastic window will often crinkle or break, or even will not allow you to fold it down, or of course they yellow, which is a really, really bad thing. So the plastic-free packaging is a fantastic idea, but it needs to be accurate to the toy that's inside, very accurate. Some toy collectors want to see the physical item inside because they can see if the paint application is nice and smooth. I don't go that far. I don't really care. In fact, I don't care if they're kind of off. I'm cool with that, just because I like weird little I'm just a toy guy. I just enjoy that stuff. I enjoy everything. But if it looks kind of strange, through the window, you can say, well, and you can look at the next one on the shelf and say that this next one on the shelf looks better, if that makes sense. So this is a fantastic toy, and I can't remember the podcast. I apologize. I needed to list them in the description. Because they had a great discussion about this. I'll try and find it, and I'll try to list it here in the description. But they were saying the problem is exactly that you need to be able to see what you're getting in the package physically, because it is a physical item. And if the cover isn't exactly that, because of variances in paint applications and stuff, you really kind of feel a little bit screwed. Not only that, but some of the clothes, they'll have like physical clothes, cloth capes, and yet they're clasped, have a clasp here. It's different than it would be in the package and stuff. So there's a lot of good points about that. Personally, I think that it's still a work in progress. I think they're still working on it. They should work on it. And it's something we need to definitely encourage, because toy collectors are some of the worst people I have ever met who you would think would be really conscious of the impacts of plastic on the environment, and just in general, like, why have all that wasteful plastic? Because they buy so much of it. At the same time, a collector, someone like myself who buys, let's say, a chunk of plastic in the form of a robot, I'm not throwing that away like a carton of milk container. I don't just toss it. I keep that thing maybe for the rest of my life. So it's kind of similar to the argument that if you own a gas-powered car, a combustion engine car, but you keep that combustion engine car for 30, 40, 50 years, you're doing less environmental impact than you would be if you got a new electric car every 5 years or whatever, like a lot of people do, because of the intense amount of waste that a collecting battery makes. I'm not discouraging people from that. That's the future. Electric, less plastic, all that's the future, but it's not perfect yet. So I think they're definitely getting to it. I would also like to say that I think what's really, really interesting here about the cover of a non-plastic box toy is that you have the chance as a company you know what would be brilliant? This would be brilliant. You go into the Instagram community or whatever, you find some of the best toy photographers out there, and you give them, I don't know, a contract or whatever it is, and have them take your toy photography, put it on the cardboard box, because you know that they're going to use cool lighting and stuff that somebody can actually do themselves. Maybe they put maybe online you have them do a little YouTube video that shows regular collectors how to do it themselves, and use their photo on your box and give them their tag, their name, or their credit on the box somewhere. And you'll see people really want to collect those, not only for the amazing toy photography, but also for the reality of the fact that they know who took the photo and stuff like that. There's a lot of really interesting things they could do with non-plastic packaging, because if you think about it, you have a square of cardboard this big, and you have a big window that takes up the first front half or 3/4 of the front of the package. Nothing can be printed on that. You can, but they're usually not printed on that. It's just clear so you can see the toy inside. But if the package is if the front of it is a printed product, you could do so much more. People trust Instagram pictures and toy photographers, YouTubers and stuff. You can have that same level of trust in a cardboard package, but you have to make sure that you're representing the product accurately, or people are going to stop trusting it. And this whole non-plastic packaging experiment is not going to fail, but it's going to be a hard sell to a lot of people. Me personally, I love it. I look for this package in the Target. I always see this 2-piece in Target. I love this Ned and Peter set. I'm not even a Spider-Man guy at all, but I love the recent incarnations of Spider-Man. So I would almost consider this, just because it's such a neat little package. You know what I'm saying? So that's non-plastic packaging. Let me know what you think in the comments. Personally, it's the future. We're not going to be able to fight it. It's something we need to encourage. We need to stop making so many things out of plastics that not bad. Stop making things out of plastics that we might not have in the future. We do need to start considering our impact on the environment. That's not a political statement at all or anything. That's a reality statement. And as toy collectors, we might be some of the ones who really lead. We could lead the movement on being more conscious of what we're doing. It's not saying that you're bad if you're not conscious, but let's start thinking about this. So this is a good idea, but it does need to be done better. So next I wanted to talk about PulseCon itself. And essentially I found 5 things in PulseCon that I'm really, really excited for. I do not do most of Hasbro's toys. In fact, I don't really collect any of them. You're going to find very few of them up here. I can point right here, right there onto my finger. If you're listening to the podcast audio, you can't see it, but I'm pointing right to the the Studio Series Transformers from the Bumblebee movie. I'm getting this correctly lately. That's Brawn from the Bumblebee movie, which I haven't watched yet. I haven't watched most of it. I've seen some of it. That little transformer, when I got that, I thought to myself, this sucks because now I'm going to want to collect transformers because it's such a brilliant little toy, such a fun little toy. Granted, I got it for only $11. It's normally 22, but even 22 is not bad. It's a really fun little toy. The transformation gimmick is fun on it. I like that the vehicle is not an Earth vehicle. It's like a space-looking car. I don't really care if it looks like a Trans Am. I've never been into Transformers. They're not bad or dumb. That wasn't my thing growing up. I was more into like just weird offbeat toys because that's what I could afford. So I am into the Transformers stuff at Hasbro. I watched all of PulseCon, day 1 and day 2, and it was such an absolutely fun stream. And I've got to say that it was just a parade of wonderful toy silliness. The product managers and community managers and hosts were over the top excited. It was cringy at times, but that's fun. That's fun stuff. It was just a parade of toys. And if you were one of those people in the chat who was being like a jerk the whole time, saying woke and stuff like that, you need to just go touch grass. PulseCon was absolutely brilliant. I don't care if you agree with the prices or not. Go shop somewhere else or buy something else. I mean, there's constructive criticism and there's being a jerk, but PulseCon was so fun. And I'm not into most of these lines. I'm not saying I'm not into them, like I don't like them. It's just I've never taken the time to listen to or to be into them. Just kind of like you're not into every musical artist you hear, if that makes sense. So I'm looking at them down here, but I'm looking at the camera here, so that's why I'm looking back up. Anyway, there was like 5 toys though there during it that I was just like, yeah, that I would probably gonna get. Not a lot. Don't get me wrong, but these 5 that I'm showing, I would probably. This is the Wicket. Wicket, if you don't know, is from Star Wars. I'm probably covering up the name. You know what Star Wars is. This is the Black Series Wicket. Now, Wicket was brought to life by one of my favorite actors, who is why am I literally just blanking on his name? I was just thinking his name. Warwick Davis, who is also in something I'm super excited for, which is the new Willow series. The movie Willow, if you haven't seen it yet, it was made by Ron Howard. Warwick Davis is in it as a wizard. I'm not going to give anything away. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It is so fun and silly, and it was just a great movie. Val Kilmer is in it, and at the height of his success, he was just handsome and swashbuckling and stuff. And the first 20 or 30 minutes of it, when you watch it, if you watch it, you will know how much I believe the creators, Peter Jackson and all those people, took from Willow to create Lord of the Rings, the original 2000s, 3 movies. There's such world building in that little village they made. It is so well done. The costuming, they do all these little games and culture things they don't explain. It just shows it, and your brain fills it in. It's just fantastic. Willow's family is like, I want to live with them. His wife was not even an actress. She was like a secretary before that role, and she does so well. The kids are absolutely heartbreakingly adorable. It's a great movie. It's a great family movie, and I hope the series is keeping it that way, because the new Lord of the Rings show is a little bit dark, maybe not for kids so much. This one, I hope they keep it. And of course, Warwick Davis played Wicket in Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Now, what's interesting about this is you see that Wicket's got a little bit more posability, which is really, really funny, because how would you do posability on an Ewok, which is a really compact character? I mean, we're talking small, like the original Yoda, small, maybe a little larger. And it looks like they've given him some really innovative or thoughtful articulation. His feet simply move. I'm betting that his legs, and I didn't watch the stream on this particular part. I should probably go back and watch it. Maybe they're playing with it or something. I'm betting that his legs are a bit on like a ball joint, a simple ball joint. But look at all the different poses he does that look really, really good. He's so adorable. He's waving. Yum, yum. And like you can see how the feet are kind of turning in more here and there. You might hear my computer firing up because of the heat because I'm using it for so many different things right now. But it sounds like the ocean in the back. Let's just pretend it's the ocean. But this was so cute, and I'm not even a Star Wars guy. I'm not like a non-Star Wars guy. I grew up on it, for God's sakes. But, oh, look at that. All these different little things it comes with. Is that not fantastic? That classic pose, I just love that. So you see, it looks like he's got basic ball joints probably here in the legs. Arms as well, and then just basic articulation in the hands and stuff like that. The hands are probably permanently kind of meant to grab because it is a pretty small scale. This is a 6-inch scale or size, so he's going to be, what, 2 or 3 inches. But he looks fantastic. Those close-up shots, you have to understand, close-up shots like that are hard to get, and to make it, it's hard not to make him look like garbage, you know. So this is really, really, really cool. This is a classic pose he was in when he was just standing there. Remember this pose? Such a great little figure. So this one I was really excited for. Will I pre-order it? I think I probably will, just because he looks so fun and playable and cute and just a neat little... I absolutely do not collect Star Wars other than the robots from Star Wars, which I can cover someday in a stream or in a video. But he's just so cute. So this one I was really excited for. Next we had, again, I was a Fortnite, McFarlane 7-inch Fortnite figure collector. I have all my 7-inch Fortnite figures, and they are put away right now just because of room. You might notice that I've got my shelves basically organized in the back. So I've still got some... I've still got to do a video about how I organized them and all that. Excuse me. But the 7-inch McFarlane were taking up too much room, but I'm definitely going to be pulling out my 2 or 3 or 4 favorites of those. They're just... McFarlane is a hit-or-miss label, a toy maker. Sometimes you get amazing figs, and then the next one you're like, this is horrible for posing. It's no fun. It doesn't stand up, and the paint is horrible. But but their Fortnite figures are really good. This is a 6-inch size. For the Fortnites I'm talking about, McFarlane's were 7-inch. These are 6-inch size. This looks like a render to me, and I'm pretty sure it is. But again, my channel and everything I like is all about little big robots. And this is, what was the character's name here? I just forgot. Mecha Fusion Lexa. I don't play Fortnite. I've played it twice, and I won chicken dinner once. And that was when I was streaming it on a Stadia or something like that. And it was really fun. So I need to go play it again because it is a really neat game. I love the hangout aspect of Fortnite where people just hang out and go to like virtual parties, you know, with like a virtual artist. I think that stuff is so fun. But this character looked really, really cool. She reminds me, or they remind, I don't know what is this, Alexa. This character reminds me of one of my favorites, which are Z-Vaz. And I've covered Z-Vaz before. If you look in my videos, you go to my uploads section and you can have a little search area. You can search for Z-Vaz. And you can see my video on that. I need to do an updated one because I got a ton of Z-Vaz. Z-Vaz were these like modular toys that had this kind of cool... She reminds me definitely of that look. Like it could work with Z-Vaz, but I just really like the look. I like anything that looks robot-ish. My thing is, it's called Mecha Fusion, so I don't know if it's supposed to be robotish or if Mecha Fusion to me sounds like something they added to a game, like, you know, every chapter of a game or every new season or whatever, they'll be like, our next thing is Color Bang, and it'll be like the theme for the season. And this one seems like it's Mecha Fusion. Somebody out there tell me. I don't play Fortnite, so I have no idea. But I love this character. I definitely will be looking forward to it. There's some really, really, really killer Hasbro and other Waxwares, whatever that one is called, that makes some really neat little Fortnite characters. Fortnite are so stylized and bright and cheery and fun that I really, really enjoy looking at them. So this was another one I was really excited for. So I'm looking forward to that. So check that out. Let's go to... Okay, so then we get into Transformers. Again, I'm not a Transformers person other than my little boop Brawn right there. And of course, when I was a kid, I had 3 or 4 that I've since relocated and bought most of those. So I have 2 or 3 to still get. They were showing all these, really, really fun. I just love that stream so much. I love that Hasbro, that Pulse stream so much. it was just they were talking to the designers. They were discussing color choices. Obviously, some of them are big fans of the IPs and were like, I wanted this classic blue. I don't. That's such an underrated source. Good source for toy collectors. When you hear, whether they're speaking cheesy corporate lingo or whatever, that it's such a great source for fans to get kind of a peek behind the curtain, because that's why I enjoy toys. Is I enjoy the engineering, the fun of it. Everybody's just having a good time. We're all feeling like kids when we play. You know what I'm saying? So that. When they were talking the Transformer stuff, it was really, really cool and kind of cute, because like people my age and older were like, oh, I remember this one and I had to build, this one was really good. I was so happy to work on this one. Well, this is, I want to say, I'm not a Transformers dude, never have been, but I believe, look at this vehicle form though. Isn't that neat looking? What is that? I want to say this was from the Transformers movie Generations, so it's from Generations. Animated series of Transformers, so it's from the series. Okay, I was thinking it was from. Look at Prime's car. You see that kind of futuristic looking car? I love that kind of stuff. I don't really care. The truck version is just not my thing. But what's cool, and I guess you get these little weird ball things with it. So here's the cover. What are the ball things? See, what I thought it was, somebody correct me. Again, I'm not a Transformers guy. I'm still learning. It's really a neat community of like 40 years of Transformer goodness, so I'm still learning. But I remember Prime got killed in the movie and they had to remove the spark from his chest. I thought that's what this was. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I'm going to put on chapstick during my podcast. But anyway, but what I like about it is that you do get like a little gold globe thingy, like a disco globe. Somebody tell me what that stuff is. It's the spark? Is that a word they use? But I also like the bots in the way that they're kind of rounded off, because with Optimus Prime, you often get these kind of like harsh lines, because he's a truck. Let me see if I can find it here. There's a good picture of him. So you see how his arms rounded off. He reminds me in a way, if you're familiar with Gunpla out there or Gundam, he reminds me of a gun cannon. Well, a gun cannon's basically kind of like a grunt mobile suit, a giant robot that has big guns on his shoulders. He reminds me of that they're all rounded off and stuff. I don't like that Prime looks to be smiling a little bit. He looks a little bit smiley. But this guy is really, really cool. He's got a beard and a disco globe and everything's cool. Sorry, I've been having a few of chocolate milk. So this was really cool. $66. I don't know if you saw that price there. It's behind my head. Let me see if I can. There you go. $66. I don't think that's bad at all, considering the packaging. And again, here is more of this plastic-free packaging that I think looks completely fantastic, as long as you have faith that the toys inside read or feel the same as the box art, if that makes sense, right? I think once we get past it and the quality control gets under there, and the fans say, no, look, we'll buy into this non-plastic future. That's cool, but you have to have the figures inside have to have that quality that the art does on the front. So if you're not doing toy photography, do some toy art like this. But I love that box art right there. You could frame. I love that kind of stuff. That's an artist. Somebody painted that. We take this stuff for granted. So this is really, really cool. I love this set. I would imagine that I would be happy to get it. It's coming out November 1st, so it's not a lot of time. Some of these take a while. Like the Fortnite one is already out, I guess. Star Wars. Oh, Star Wars? Oh, April of 23. So see, it's not sold out yet. April of 23 so far off. I might not try and pre-order that kind of stuff. But so then we've got this guy here, Tarn, whoever the hell Tarn is. Sorry, I don't know Transformers, but they were explaining it in the stream that I think he was a comic character. This is from Transformers Legacy comics universe. So he's from the comics. Okay, that makes sense. So that's what they were saying. Again, you have the art on the front, but in this one, you can see it looks like you have a window on the front. I don't know if this is Is it open? Is it? It might be open in the front. I thought in Walmart I saw some that were just open in the front, which is to me is again completely cool. It's completely fine. I mean, how many times do we see toys now that say "try me now" and it's like you push the little button inside of it, whatever. So maybe that's kind of what this is. But this one I really liked. I'm not normally. I see these things a lot when I'm just poking around for toys in like a Walmart or a Target. I see this line a lot. I think um, they're cool and everything, but the packaging. This is so kind of messy on the front though in a way. You see how it's so bright? Like there's all these. You can't quite get a feel for what the character looks like. And if it's not a character that I don't understand, then I probably would have never imagined it would look like this. But he looks really, really cool. I love this character. I thought on this stream they showed him off really well. A lot of times on the stream they were having like early models, like 3D print kind of literally hand painted kind of quickly made ones. But on the stream he looked really cool and people flipped out. So I guess they really like this big gun thing here. Ion laser or something like that. If you don't know me, you don't listen to me, or you've never seen me before, the guns, unless they have to be part of the final transformation or robot. I have like 3 boxes of just weapons. I don't use the big, I especially hate big guns. A sword or something maybe, but typically I toss all that aside. I don't throw it away, but I keep it. Maybe I'll trade it one day, but I'm not into the big gun thing. It's just not. I don't know. It's not what is interesting to me. But the robot itself, quote unquote, the robot, if you want to call it that. What am I opening up here? The robot itself looks really, really cool. I don't know who Tarn is. Tarnation, but he looks cool. I love the colors, and I like his vehicle form. This is what's cool too. Is if you have a cool transformation, like it transforms into something cool, that's always good. So that's number 4 or 5 that I was really interested in. And then the last one was this big guy. Now I don't know, because I'll show you here real quick. This was $165, so $166. Everybody was going, what is it, like how much is it, and stuff like that. The packaging is incredible. I am in no way, shape, or form, other than the eye guy and some of the other characters I got, the weird monster looking people. I don't know what they are. I don't know the lore. Again, not a Hasbro person, but this stuff pulls me in a bit. And I'm definitely not a Power Rangers person. It's like, it seems so kiddie to me, but then you learn of its history. You really pay attention to how far back that genre, giant robots fighting giant costume monsters and stuff, how far back that goes. And you realize, oh, I've been into that stuff for a long time. That's really, really cool. This thing is really, really an interesting giant robot. He looks to be about yay so. On the stream, he was really big. His transformation gimmick is pretty simple, but I like the vehicle. Again, if the vehicle looks cool that it transforms into, that's cool by me. He has this little bridge built into his head and his body, and they actually sit around the little bridge, which is adorable. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe on the stream they said that he was 1/144 scale, which is all these Gunpla, my HG Gunpla, Bandai Gunpla kits. So that's kind of an interesting thing. I thought he just looked really cool. The circular part, the kind of angled part of the UFO kind of ship he turns into, forms these cool looking legs. Look really sturdy. I like the shield. And again, I like the vehicle. So the question is it, I don't want to say is it worth, because worth is, we get spoiled by price. $165 for this epic looking thing, I don't think is a bad price, because you do get these really, really inspired designs and fantastic shapes and a good centerpiece kind of character. But for 165, just to give you an idea, these guys here, they're this big, they're massive, 1/25 scale, whatever, are 70 to 90 a piece. So I could get 2 of them for the price of this, and they're honestly way more detailed. Way more. This guy's hands they're not even articulated at all. Sounds goofy or whatever, but it's true. They're not You can see they're not articulated. They just are like that. But there's a cool design. There's an aesthetic there and a history you're paying for, I think. So I would absolutely not be like upset at somebody for saying, yeah, I paid the $160 for that, because as soon as I saw it, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. I'd have to wash it. I'd have to add some, because as you can see here from a lot of these shots, you can see how much that silver with some wash or something on it, some dirtying on it, would just pop. The whole thing would. You could easily, I guarantee, you could see the screw right here. We're going to have visible screws, which is a good thing. You could easily take it apart, wash the whole thing, change the colors, whatever you wanted to do. If you're a Power Rangers person, you probably want to keep it canon or whatever. But to me, you would take all that apart, piece by piece, just do some fun washing, panel lining, whatever on it, and then the details would just, I mean, look at all these details here in the side. It would just completely pop and look amazing. So this is pushing it a bit for me. It's not like an affordability thing. It's just that I think, well, for that price, though, I could get so much. I work really hard, if you don't know this, to keep everything within my little realm of 3 or 4 shelves here. I have another one over here you can't see, but I'm going to put it in a reorganization video where I've saved a lot of space. I'm trying to keep it where I don't want boxes and boxes of extra stuff. 3 or 4 boxes of leftover figs is fine, but generally I want to display it or get rid of it, store it if it's old from when I was a child or something. Of course, I had a toy from my childhood. This big of a guy, though, he up here, I saved kind of the space on the very tops for like the big random things. It might be a good candidate for that because he's just so cool looking, and it just looks like fun to play with. The shield is great. Where's the shield going on the top there? Underneath? I'm wondering where the shield goes. I don't know this IP at all, so feel free to educate me. But it's a neat looking character. I love how he's so chunky it is. Because some of the Megazords or whatever you call them, they don't look real movable and posable. But this one you can pose and do some really, really cool stuff on. So this was something that I was like, hey, now that's my speed right there. So I'm thinking about it. I added all these to a cart just to see the cost and everything. It's not bad, but you get a lot of really cool stuff. So anyway, that's just some of the stuff I saw at PulseCon. Were fantastic. I talked for a long time, probably because time means nothing to me right now, if you know what I'm saying. But what a fun PulseCon was. Just really, really fun. A free stream on YouTube that you could just tune into and watch it for free. It's just a parade of toys. They should be so proud of that stuff. I love that stuff. I think if you're finding that you're upset at them because some other reason or whatever, I understand. Lodge a complaint and move on, because it was just a parade of happiness and joy for me. I was just so floored the whole time. I was just spamming hearts and like fireworks and stuff. I was like, this is so cool. I wish more companies would do that. And even though I'm not a Hasbro guy at all, it's not because I have some problem with it. I just never got into Hasbro stuff. Man, this stuff will pull you in so fast. It's crazy. But anyway, leave me a comment down below. Hit a like or a follow or whatever. I do this podcast generally every week. I'm experimenting with doing it at night now because I can do it so much easier than during the day when I'm tired. I'd rather do it at night when I'm tired, and you know what I'm saying? So let me know what you think. I'm getting close to 3,000 subs. I don't know if that's a thing or not. Once I hit that, I'll be like, yay. Okay. This is something I do for fun. I love little versions of big robots. So if you have any suggestions for other things that you saw during the con that I didn't see, let me know, because there was a lot I didn't miss. I didn't catch all of it live. G.I. Joe, I missed live and stuff like that. But from what I saw in review, it was really cool. So anyway, have a good day, everybody. Enjoy your work week, if that's what you're doing at the time of listening to this. And let me know what you think. There you go. Have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.